I mean, I of course first met you when you turned up to play for Mumbai Indians, but you were a very good red ball cricketer before that as well. I mean, Ian Bishop talked to us about you and Flintoff being sort of contemporaries at that time in red ball cricket as being potential all-rounders. But you made the move from red to white pretty quickly.
Yeah. Well, the move was one that just happened. Honestly, like when I started off my career back in 2004, I started off with ODIs in the Caribbean, and I think because of my performance in the ODI series against England, the West Indies selectors think that it's time that I travel with the team in the England tour later down that year. We played a NatWest series, which was West Indies, England, and New Zealand, where we lose in the finals to New Zealand. And I had a very good NatWest series, wickets, runs, and I think right after that series was the first test at Lords, and that is when Brian he said, "You think it's time? You think I'm ready to play Test cricket?" And he gave me that opportunity to play my first Test match at Lords, which I made my debut there. And then after that, I had a very good, promising start to my Test career. I think my first from 2004 to 2010, was good. Could have been a lot better, but I think as a youngster, starting off at 20 years old, playing the highest format of the game, I was still learning. It was a still learning curve for me. But suddenly it cut short, something that was beyond my control. And, I would have loved to continue my Test cricketing career if the opportunity was there. But like I said, some things happen and you just don't have full control over it. You just have to accept it. And then was the birth of T20 cricket in 2008 and 2009 when we came to India. As young players, the Trinidad and Tobago team in the Champions League, where we made it to the finals against all odds, this young team from Trinidad and Tobago, and we just light the world of storm, and that is where you see the lights of Pollard and Naran and all, Samuel Badri and these guys.
It's tempting to think about Dwayne Bravo and to think of him as an individual going around the world playing franchise cricket, but I know there's a great deal of pride in you when you turn up to play for the West Indies in T20 cricket. Darren Sammy was another captain you played under. Everyone seems to have this feeling for Darren Sammy as well. I mean, he's a different kind of captain, isn't he? But tell us about playing the T20 World Cup, playing with someone like Sammy. What was that like?
Yeah, it's good. Even this today, like if I see Sammy now, anyway, I call him captain. Like to me, he'll always be my captain because of the respect we have for each other, but the what he have achieved as a T20 leader. Today, no other captain have achieved that. And I think he was treated very harshly by losing his captaincy, the way how we lose it. So I always call him captain no matter what. And I remember it was a series when I first become West Indies ODI captain. It was Sachin's last test test match in Wankhede. And I arrived there, the test match was finished in 3 days or something like that, I can't remember. And after the test series was the ODI series, which I have to take over. And I remember calling Sammy outside the dressing room for a quiet chat. And I said to him, listen to me. You remember back in 2002, we both were under 19 players representing West Indies in World Cup. Now today, we are both West Indian captains. You in charge of the T20 and Test, I'm in charge of the 50 over. Now we have to create our own legacy. We cannot repeat what those greats done back in those days. But let's say, for example, in T20 cricket, let us dominate this format and be the greats. Just like how Viv and Clive Lloyd and these guys were greats in their era at one particular format, we have the ability to do the same in T20. We have the best players in one team, and it's important that from now on that we treat this format as though our lives depend on it. We want to be the most dominant team in T20 cricket. And we shook hands, both agree, and and the rest is history. From there on, we went on and win 2 World Cups, and we had produced some of the best players that ever played the game, and all that because he was a very good leader. He also, it's not easy to lead a team where you have so much other great players around you, like star players like Gale, Bravo, Pollard, Russell, Narayan, Badri, but Sammy was able to get the best out of all of us, and we all have a great friendship.
So 2 great captains. You haven't done a song on Sammy yet, but you've done a song on mine.
Sammy always cussed me about that. He said every time you do a song, you don't ever call my name.
Do you look at yourself and say, you know what, I was a bit of a pioneer in T20 cricket as well?
Pioneer?
Yeah, do you see yourself as a pioneer? Yeah.
I think, like today I post something, so someone tagged me in a post where I am the leading wicket taker in all-time T20 formats. 3 wickets away from 500, which I'm going to be the first to 500. I was the first to 400. So, scoring over 6,000, closing in on 7,000 T20 runs. So I think overall, yes, I have a big impact in a format that was maybe, let's say, less than 20 years old. And for me to have this impact that I have, I say I'm one of the T20 greats that play the game, all-round wise. But I don't see myself as the greatest T20 bowler or the greatest T20 all-rounder or fielder. I'm just happy that I was able to contribute in a significant way to a sport that I love, and that this younger generation also is looking towards T20 cricket. And if you call in 10 T20 all-rounders or bowlers, my name will be mentioned. So for me, that is a great achievement in itself, And when it comes to titles, I think Pollard and myself have the most T20 titles, along with Andrew Russell, in the world. And what I judge is that, you can win titles, but some people can win all these titles but don't have an impact. They can be on the bench or they can play 1 or 2 games in the season. But every tournament I play in, at some point in time, I was the leading wicket taker. From BPL, the IPL, to CPL, I all had a big impact in those achievements. So I feel very comfortable knowing that I have achieved something in a format that is so dominant now.
You talked about that meeting with Darren Sammy and what that led to. The West Indies almost created a template for playing T20 cricket, isn't it? Big, powerful hitters. You have Gale at the top, and now there's a whole generation of people who've learned from Chris Gale coming along. Then there's Kyron Pollard, Andre Russell, Darren Sammy. There's a bit of you as well. There's this power hitting mode that the West Indies pioneered, isn't it, in a sense?
Yeah, we use that to our strength. We are not and we accept certain things, and that's the good thing about us. We accept that we are not the best team in running between the wickets, and we are not the best team in rotation of strikes. So we was like, okay, no problem. All of us, well, these guys, not me, but Pollard, Russell, Gale, Sammy, Carlos Brathwaite, they think they can hit a 6 anytime they want, whenever they want. It don't matter the size of the ground. Whereas some other batsmen, the size of the ground might give them doubts. Like if I need to hit a 6 this ball, not much batsmen can really do that. The fact that West Indian players have 4 or 5 players in our lineup can hit a 6 at any given time, at any size cricket ground, that is what we win with. And it's very hard when you have Gale on the top You have to go through Gale. You get past Gale, you might have to go through Evan Lewis. You get past Evan Lewis, you have to go through Pollard. You get past Pollard, you have to go through Russell. You get past Russell, you have to go through Sammy. Get past Sammy, you have to go through Brown. It's hard. As a bowler, it's mentally frustrating to know that when you see a team like that, with batting all the way down to 9, it's like, and they keep coming. But I must say the current T20 team now, the current West Indies T20 team now, I think is even more dangerous than the previous World Cups we went.
Do you look at other teams and say they play differently? I mean, we look at how India play. Sometimes we think India play T20 cricket a bit like one-day cricket, a little more conservatively. Do you look at India and say, no, they're playing it a little too conservatively, or do you think, no, they play it differently? What's your view of how India play T20 cricket?
Yeah, their style is good. Their style is very good. I think India is a team because of, they have so many dominant players now, and the IPL have changed the way how Indian players think. They get more, they get a lot more confidence now. The good thing about India team is that, like some other teams, you can either stifle them with spin, you can stifle them with seam bowling, or you can stifle them with like, for us, like West Indians, like dot balls. Like we get a lot of pressure on ourselves with dot balls, but we have the ability to hit sixes to make up. With a team like India, they don't soak up dot balls, they're very good at spin, and they play fast bowling well. So when you look at a compact, complete team, India is that type of team. They have good spinners, good fast bowlers, very good batsmen and fielders. Other teams around the world, you can identify their weakness in whether they are stronger batting or stronger bowling. So those are the, like I said.
Yeah. Just a couple more questions before we finish. Have you seen a young player somewhere who you look at and say, wow, this kid's going to be special. He's going to be a T20 star. He's going to be like a Malinga. He's going to be like a Bravo. He's going to be like a Gale. Have you seen talent like that around? Did you go, wow?
Yeah, Sharpan from India, Nicholas Puran.
Yeah.
Those two, batting-wise, I think gonna set the world a storm, because they're still young, they still have a lot of learning, but they are very dangerous players. Bowling-wise, I haven't seen...
Bring back DJ Bravo.
I haven't seen that Malinga type yet, or Bumrah's yet, because I think it's very hard to get a player or a bowler to be like these guys. Like Malinga especially is a class on his own. Like I don't think we'll ever see any player in our lifetime to do the things like what he did and master it like that. So it's very hard. It's very hard to see another Lassit Malinga coming anytime soon.
It's one of the toughest jobs in the world, bowling death in a T20 game. What's your mindset? At what point do you decide this one's a slow ball, this one's a wide Yorker, this one's full into the pads? At what point do you decide? How do you plan? Because I think it's terribly tough being an end overs bowler.
Yeah, it is. It's very, very tough, and especially now with smaller grounds and with the way how these players are hitting now. Like you come up, just like how I class myself as a death over specialist. They have guys who are finishers. So like guys like Pollard, AB, Russell, Chris Gale, if he's batting and he is set and he's batting to the end. These guys are dangerous. Hardik Pandya, they are very dangerous players to bowl to in the end. So for me, what I work on in practice, so if I'm in the West Indies team, I will bowl death overs at Russell, Pollard, Darren Sammy. If I'm practicing in franchise like Chennai, I will bowl to MS, so Reina, these guys. I program my mind in training first to nail Yorkers, execute slower balls, bowl wide Yorkers, bowl leg stump Yorkers. I work on my skills so that I feel comfortable in the net. So when I go into the game and I need to call on these deliveries, I can deliver. A lot depends on the batter, whether when I use a slower ball, if I use a slower ball. So guys like Pollard and Russell and these guys, you'll very hardly see me bowl slower balls to them because I know they will be waiting. If I'm playing against like a Josh Butler, a Ben Stokes, David Warner, like players who grew up on hard pitches or love the ball coming onto the bat, I will bowl a lot of slower balls. So my choice of deliveries dependent on the batter, dependent on the dimension of the ground, whether the ground is big, sideways or long ways. All these factors play a big part in the way how I bowl.
Do you remember how many T20 teams you played?
I thought 30-something, 20-something, I'm not sure.
Yeah, possibly. I don't know either. But what we're going to get you to do before we finish, just two things left before we finish, is look at all the players you've played with in franchise cricket everywhere. Not West Indies cricket, because you look at the 2016, 24, we look at that team and say, wow. But all the franchise cricketers, if you had to say, right, let me make a team with these, but I won't pick more than two. Otherwise, you'll pick the entire CSK side, I know. I won't pick more than two per franchise. Can you come up with a team like that?
I will try. For CSK, the two I'll pick is Raina and Dhoni.
Yeah.
So should I pick my CPL team or should I pick from West Indies team?
Doesn't matter, whichever. No. Only a franchise team. So pick Trinbago Knight Riders, pick maybe Trinidad and Tobago, the King of India.
Trinbago Knight Riders, I will pick Sunil Narang and my brother, Dwayne Bravo.
Okay.
For Melbourne Stars, I will pick Aaron Finch.
Yeah.
And Aaron Finch and Kane Richardson.
Okay.
For Melbourne, Mumbai Indians.
What players you played with?
When I played with?
Yeah.
Sachin and Pollard.
Oh, okay. I think a little word will go out to Lasith saying Dwayne Bravo didn't look at Lasith Malinga from there. Okay. You played Gujarat Lions, not much. You played Essex. I'm looking at all the teams you played for. You played at Surrey. You played at Sydney, and you played in that side that I always remember that came to the Champions League. That Trinidad and Tobago team that came to the Champions League.
Yeah. In that team, I will pick.
You and Russell never in the same side.
Russell and I played together in Dhaka Dynamites.
Oh, that must have been some side.
So I will play with Russell and Shakib Al-Hassan for Dhaka.
Okay, there you go. That's two more.
For the Trinidad and Tobago team, I will go with Samuel Badri and Ravi Rampal.
Yeah.
For Melbourne Stars, I will go with Glenn Maxwell and Marcus Turner.
So we've got a group. This is the set of players he played with. So thank you very much. Really look forward to seeing much more of you. I hope you've not put a date at which you'll finish, because we don't want you to, because it's been so much fun watching you.
Okay, thank you very much.